Super Media Bros podcast is a founding member of the OddPods Media Network. You know, for the performances and the kills and the music, it's kind of weak.
To quote Red Heart, 4 out of 10.
I just don't understand how you have such a good setup. It's waiting to be knocked out of the park. And the only thing that gets knocked out is the fucking cameo appearance by the main character.
Look, listen. I'll be honest with you. There's about 4 movies in the franchise that's even worse than this one. But there's about 8 of them that are better.
Welcome to episode 247 of the Super Media Bros podcast. Spooky Media Bros 2022. I'm Richie.
I'm Devin.
This is Halloween Ends. And I'm so fucking happy I didn't pay money for this in a theater.
Yeah, I did because a buddy of mine, it was a deal. I needed help getting a butt plug put into my butthole, and I was scared to do it myself. I told him, hey, if you do this for me, I'll get you tickets. And I just got myself a ticket too, so we went together. It's not gay though.
It definitely isn't. It's definitely not.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, there really isn't.
But I'm just letting you know I'm not gay.
I don't care if you are.
Ladies, hit me up.
I'll be honest. This movie needed a butt plug because of all the massive amount of shit that it fucking spewed forth.
See, okay. I would say the first, half did not so much as far as what you're saying.
Should I just go ahead and knock out what's good about this movie before we go ahead and get into what was not so good about this?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so my opinion, and I know you feel the same way because we both said this movie should have been the second part of this trilogy.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the character of Corey. Like, that could have been a guy who got fucking traumatized from the events of 2018 Halloween. That shit spills over into a second part where he goes through this exact metamorphosis that he's having. Because think about the fact that 2019, like that beginning of this happened in 2019. Spoilers, by the way. Corey's babysitting and he accidentally fucking kills the kid that he's babysitting.
Yeah, and speaking of the kid, right out of the gate, I realized that the town folk are just mean people for no reason. I understand that, there's a message behind evil and how it spreads. I get it, but it's like, that's not even being evil. That's just you're just a dick.
Yeah, I was going to say, people are just being an asshole. Assholes die tonight.
Yeah, it was fucking weird. But I see why you need to go from A to B. I understand it's just, this is how I would describe it. The first half of this movie, I was on board with. In fact, there were aspects of it that not only was I on board with, I fucking loved. Corey's mirroring of Michael throughout with the bandaged hand, the jumpsuit, the looking down the stairs, the all kinds of stuff.
Dude, I loved that. Like the cinematography.
Yes.
I cannot overstate this enough. The cinematography was great. The lighting is really good. Like the mood, the atmosphere, all of that is good. This is why I think the movie as a whole pisses us off.
And you know what? This is what I told my buddy whenever we got out of the theater. Not to the same extent, but it's in the vein of the latest Netflix Chainsaw Massacre, where it had so many things that I was just gushing over, and yet it didn't have the plot to hold it together.
Does it feel like we're doing this all over again with this movie?
Kind of, but not so much, because I did like the script presented. I just think that it feels like a rough draft. And I feel as though somewhere, whether we receive it or not, there is a director's cut.
I hope so. Here's what pisses us off about this. Like, we literally have just given like what is good about this. The parallels are fucking great with him. Like, I connected that as soon as I saw the jumpsuit where he's working in the mechanics yard. I was like, okay, this is where we're going with this. I fucking was like, okay, maybe he'll take over. And this also spills into this should have been the fucking second film. If he gets infected by the fucking evil, and then you leave the whole evil dies tonight thing in Halloween Kills and twist that into the third film, give that movie the exact layout that it fucking had with the ending of this movie, that might have been better, like a better choice, because this movie feels like a middle piece to something.
It does. There's just something off. Like, it feels very rushed.
Yeah, it might have been, because this was supposed to be shot back to back with Kills, but then obviously pandemic 2020 fucking happened, and we just kind of got, delayed. This was all delayed. And then the plot of this movie being that it picks up 4 years after Laurie's daughter and Allison's mom, same person, obviously, are killed. And Michael Myers just disappears. They bulldoze his house. And apparently he's just living in the fucking sewer like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle the whole fucking time.
I was indifferent about that concept. Because, like, yeah, it raises a lot of questions. And this is where I think a director's cut would have, one of the many examples why a director's cut would help, because how was he living? Was he taking food from the homeless people? Was he feeding off of them like a cannibal? Where does he shit?
I'm glad you said it. I wanted to get into some funnier shit about Michael Myers. Not once in this entire franchise. I mean, I think maybe with the exception of the Rob Zombie films, because they were trashy enough to go there in certain aspects.
Dude, I fucking love Rob Zombie for this type of thing, man.
When does Michael Myers just take a mad shit? Like, where does he drop a fucking deuce at? Does he actually have to, like, fucking finagle out of the jumpsuit? Does he shit his fucking jumper? Does he piss his jumper? Like, you never ever like hear about that being brought up, and it's kind of fucking funny because the man has got a shit.
I would like to think that he shits himself.
He just walks. Like, how fucked up is it though? Like, nobody ever sees him coming, right? Like, you know how he just kind of ninjas his way into the situation? Exactly.
Motherfucker, you stink.
Exactly. It just like reeks of shit, and he is trying to creep into somebody's house, and they're just like, and they see him like, oh, he's giving himself away, man.
I don't know, but like, I think legitimately just a couple of frames would have fixed that.
Sure.
As well as the romance subplot. Or, no, that is the plot.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, Jesus fucking Christ.
I didn't buy the romance. Now, that is a mixture of two things. Number one, a lack of chemistry, in my opinion. Not to say the writing was even bad for them up until a certain point. And the actors themselves were doing their best, like, in fact, I would say, like, of all the criticisms that I've read online, nobody was saying bad acting.
No, that's the thing, dude, is the performances were fucking amazing. They were great. Like, dude, Rowan Campbell playing Corey, 100% convincing.
Yeah,
100% convinced.
And I was falling in love with that character as far as, like, oh, so this is going to be the shape.
I really wanted that. And I know that's what they hoped we would believe, and we did for a hot minute, because the fact that Myers, and I joked about this with you, I was like, oh, hey, man, did you love that cameo that happened in this movie? And you were like, wait, what? Because I swear to God, I texted this man. I was like, oh, what about that cameo?
I thought you meant the OG Michael that was in the bar.
Oh, no. I was just like, oh, yeah, Michael Myers himself. It has like maybe a total of 20 minutes in this entire movie as 10. A cameo. 10?
Yeah, that's what I read online.
Oh, my fucking God, dude. 10 minutes.
No, well, the thing is though is okay if it had a little bit better editing and a few decisions made. Like, okay, at a certain point, Allison is like being stupid by keeping this dude around. I didn't buy the romance. I didn't buy her decision making. It's almost as if once they got into their first fight is where that plot revolving around the movie lost me. There were still aspects throughout that were sprinkled in that I really liked. But after that, it never quite came back to where I was. Also didn't like Lori just sitting in the house just rocking back and forth. I don't know. I get that she's paranoid, but at this point, she was feeling better. She'd done therapy. I don't know.
Maybe she was just kind of regressing into that because therapy, although can be ongoing, nobody's ever truly quote unquote fixed. It's always a work in progress.
And I get that. And that's real life. I understand. And you can even argue, well, that was the evil in her, maybe.
I was about to say, I think the relationship between Laurie Strode and Corey is meant to represent how that evil is handled internally and how it affects each person individually and what they do with it. Because she has control of it. Mm-hmm. He didn't. He gave into it. Slowly, but he gave into it.
But it's like, that I didn't care for.
Right. I mean, really, neither did I, honestly.
I think it's because of how it played out. I don't know. And also because Corey was speaking facts. He said, you started this.
She really did. She invited him in.
Yeah, like straight the fuck up. I fucking hated the fact that he pushed around Michael.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to the whole Michael in the sewer thing I had a really big issue with. It's like, were they trying to just go ahead and be like, okay, this Michael is human?
And that part I'm cool with. I'm even super sold on the idea of an old Michael. Like, I love the idea of, let's say he's chasing Lori, she kicks his leg, it fucking buckles, he tweaks his knee, and he's limping. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to fucking kill you. That I'm cool with.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, but here's the point I was getting at. Sure, it's been 40 years, and he's still coming after her in the 2018 one with the intensity that he has. Halloween Kills picking up literally the same night. This motherfucker, just the way in which he fucking murders everybody with intensity, with strength, like superhuman strength. She even mentions a couple of times how he's not human. He is like some type of force of evil, some type of force of fucking nature. Cut to this movie. My man's is living in the fucking sewer, getting pushed around by some kid, like you said, and is all of a sudden humanistic after a whole movie where it seems as though they built him to be like the quote, the more he kills, the more he ascends.
Well, and I was going to go into that. Okay. I get that, he could feed off of the power and all that stuff, even if he's not the one killing it. It's kind of Hellraiser.
A little bit.
I don't know. I wasn't feeling that. And just him taking Michael's mask, I understand what they were trying to do, but Corey already had his mask. And they were working together, and that in itself is something that I also didn't necessarily buy, for the simple fact that, okay, if Michael had been in hiding for 10 years and knew exactly who Corey was, that'd be one thing. He didn't know. Like, there's no evidence that he knows the story. I understand timeline-wise, he could have heard through the grapevine, but from whom?
Right.
Like, so I don't know. Even what I just suggested with it being 10 years, that still doesn't work.
Well, here's the thing I think happens. The whole eyes, like the focus on eyes.
Yeah.
It felt like, and I don't know if this is exactly what they were going for, But it felt like when he grabbed him by the throat in the sewer and he looked him in the eyes and you saw like the flashbacks and all that other shit happening. It felt like Michael was transferring a bit of the evil directly. I don't know. Like, again, I don't know if that's exactly what they were going for, but maybe it was, you know, with Michael teaming with him. It's like, oh, evil recognizes evil, dude. Maybe that's why. Maybe he was like, well, this guy, like Corey, for lack of a better term, was trying to alpha Michael.
Yeah.
In a sense. So maybe if for a short period of time, Michael was his bitch, if you think about it that way.
I get it, but also
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it, and I don't buy the idea of Michael even being like, oh yeah, I'll be the cleanup guy. Because essentially it was like a Batman and Robin where, you know, Corey comes in and, you know, he's doing things. He's a little sloppy. To put it into wrestling terms, he was green.
Yeah.
But Michael comes in and essentially is like, let me show you how it's done, kid.
Yeah.
I get what they were going for. And I think that's the whole synopsis that we can give. I know what they're going for, but I don't buy it. Because the Michael I know, even in old age, is like a rage-filled monster. He does not give a fuck.
I mean, there's one thing I did point out to you, that photo that I sent you, where it was literally Halloween 1978, Halloween 2 from 1981, and then Halloween 3 Season of the Witch from 1982. Each of those movies happened like 40 years prior. Each movie, parallel with one another, used the same font in the title screens.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say, Halloween Ends is kind of, sort of, the Season of the Witch that had Michael Myers in it. It felt like a very standalone Haddonfield story that just happened to be like, hey, maybe we ought to put Laurie and Michael in this fucking story to give it a little backbone.
And I get it. I mean, which, by the way, that's another reason why I don't necessarily have a problem with Michael not being in this very much, because of Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch is one of the best in the franchise. And I say that very, very seriously. A lot of people out there are probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is one of the best Halloween films in this franchise. Top 5, go fuck yourself. Halloween Ends is just not on that level. I wholly agree with your 4 out of 10 stance, because fucking same, really. There was so much that this one had going for it that they just fucking botched at the ass end, really. Because I think for Devin and I, our biggest complaint above every fucking thing else in this movie is, how are you going to have a character like Corey be built up this goddamn strong only for him to be fucking wasted at the end?
Yeah, because I could have looked past a lot of the little nitpicky flaws, you know, like, let's say, well, it was kind of sloppily edited or felt rushed. Whatever, you know, if you stuck the landing, you stuck it, dude. Okay. So, number one, the idea of him killing himself to frame Laurie, I was like, that's a fucking twist.
That is some petty ass shit there, dude.
I could have loved that. If Allison then was like, fuck you, grandma, and then she became Michael, I was like, okay. Or
she kills Laurie.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Michael comes in, kills her.
That would have been ballsy.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, it literally would end or have ended that way, or have this, because I think this type of trauma is compelling. She comes in and sees her mom. Full blown would never believe her if she told her opposite. Fuck you, mom. Wants to kill her. Maybe stabs her a little. But then she herself gets fucking murked by Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So now the daughter is dead, and Laurie has to live with the fact that her daughter thinks that she's a fucking murderous monster and still has to fight Michael successfully. But she's still going to she reverts to alcoholism, and she does not get a happy ending.
See, okay. Here's how I would have done this. So, number one, Corey would not have died. Corey is the next guy.
Absolutely. That's the way it should have been.
So they would have had it out, and then Michael would have shown up. Okay. Now, if you did want to have the Corey dies thing, let me play devil's advocate here. Allison walks in, sees it, and this is my problem. She spent the whole night saying, Grandma, you're a fucking psycho. Then sees the love of her life, which we also don't buy because they've known each other less than a week, but I digress as a motherfucker. She sees him get murdered by her psychopathic grandmother, runs out, then saves the day. So if you're gonna go that route, this would have been an easy fix. And that's what I'm saying is editing, rushed, all that stuff. It would have been so easy for the shot to be her leaving the house, shows her getting into the car, screaming, just having a fucking meltdown, can't even move, just hyperventilating. Cut to Lori. Then the Michael versus Lori fight happens. Lori's about to die, and something like glass breaks or something. Furniture fucking fumbling, whatever. Cut, shows Allison hearing that, turns her head, sees it happening through the window. Then you cut, and she's in there helping. And then you finally get to the end, and she's like, that's not how I want you to go, but we are not cool. Because as it stands, whether you save your grandmother or not, why did she begin to believe her? A psycho is still a psycho at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, for the ending that it should have been, Corey should not have died. I can understand if he gets shot a few times and, seemingly kicks the bucket. And then at the very end, Lori kills Michael. And then here he comes doing the classic sit-up. Corey sits up, kills Lori. And Allison sees that. And now
you have your new Michael and Lori.
Exactly. And the whole thing is Allison is like, fuck you, fuck this city, I'm fucking done. She leaves. Now, the city is more or less safe, but it's now a cat and mouse series. I don't know. I feel like this was a very simple thing because Halloween was founded upon the idea of an anthology film. The fact that Michael Myers is the face of the franchise is based solely off of popularity. John Carpenter wanted it to be an anthology.
Yeah, because, initially he wanted the first one to just be a standalone.
Okay, yeah.
Then he wanted to do the anthology for the second one. The studio was like, no, we need Michael Myers back. So that's why they killed him in the original sequel. He was supposed to be just dead. And that's why Season of the Witch failed as much as it did. Now, to bounce off of your ending you pitched, I would have done a callback to the very original.
Okay.
Where maybe Allison and Lori, one of them shoots him. Lori's kind of fucked up, like she's been stabbed or whatever. Like after fighting Michael, kills Michael. Maybe they shoot Corey. He falls to the ground. The police come, all this other shit. Well, whenever they go to show the body, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
No explanation, nothing. You get no resolve. It cold ends where it was like the first one. He's just gone. And it's like, fuck, dude. Where did he go? But you get nothing. There's no sequel to this. There's nothing. Like, it is literally a fucking ending where, shit, this guy is now the boogeyman. Like, it still goes with the whole new Lori Michael thing with Allison and Corey. Grandmother gets the happy ending, kills her demon. Now her daughter has her own. And you don't know where this fucker went.
Bro, and I think it's pretty safe to say damn near any ending would have been better than the one that we got because I did not like the corny ass, let's tie him up onto the top of a car and the whole town folk will go up and drive him to the fucking dump It reminded me of a fucking 1920s like Frankenstein sort of thing. And I love those movies. And in fact, I was watching the Bela Lugosi Dracula the other night. So, but the reason why I love those movies is number one, they're just well made.
Shit, yeah.
But also, there's a different kind of connection because it was made in the 1920s. This is not that. This is 2020s.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't fly. If it was an homage, okay, I see it, but it didn't work. It didn't fit the tone. It was corny as fuck. Don't do that.
Michael Myers sure is scary, but the last thing that you need to be is Harry this Halloween. Luckily, our friends at Manscaped just launched the 4th generation performance package to make sure that your pumpkins get the ultimate carving experience on this spooky day. Turn your bite-sized treat into a king-size candy bar and join the 6 million men worldwide that trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with our code SUPER. Make the right call this spooky season. It's trick or trim. Devin, have you ever tried to shave your balls and it turned into a Freddy Krueger film?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
more times than I would have liked to admit it.
Oh, okay. I feel your pain. Luckily, our friends at Manscaped are here to save the day, and they're going to make sure that you're feeling your best in your costume. Do you have a costume picked out?
I do.
What is it?
I can't tell you yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it could probably help you tell me. I can help you unlock your confidence with the Performance Package 4.0.
A 4?
4.0, yes.
That's like twice as good as the 2.
It is twice as good as the 2, and it's a level up from the 3. So inside this package, you're going to find the holy grail of men's grooming items. And they've made it easy for you to upgrade your grooming routine. It's a full moon out, and the werewolf in your pants is howling. It's time to tackle that problem with the Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 is easily the greatest ball trimmer on the planet. Did I mention it's waterproof? That is a shower essential. This package also includes the Weed Whacker. It's a nose and ear hair trimmer that helps provide proprietary skin-safe technology, helping to prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in your delicate spots. Seal the deal with the liquid formulations. The Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner are going to make sure that your pumpkins stay fresh. Trust me, Devin, when I say your balls will thank you.
They will? Like audibly?
You know, if you use the ear hair trimmer, you might actually hear it. So, like, use that too.
Okay,
you can hear your balls thank you.
Okay. Do you have a kit right now?
I do have a kit right now.
Okay, give it here.
All right, hang on.
Oh, yeah.
Manscaped has also just launched a brand new product, the Body Buffer. This is a 100% antibacterial body scrubber, and it's just what you need to keep fresh and clean this Halloween. They're even going to throw 2 free gifts into this performance package, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. You can bring your boxers and your comfort to another level. Also, if you're looking like Wolverine and haven't cut your nails recently, be sure to look into the Shears 2.0 nail kit.
But what if I want to have 9-inch nails?
Then I guess you don't need to look into the Shears 2.0 nail kit.
Do hot ladies like 9-inch nails?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
But it still works as a product.
It does work as a product. I use it. Get 20% off plus free shipping with our code SUPER at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with our code SUPER at manscaped.com. Say trick or treat to your beautiful new Halloweeny with Manscaped. Dude, I think I just heard your balls thank you. Fall is in the air, and our friends at Vincero Collective have sponsored this episode to make sure that all of our listeners are accessorizing their autumn outfits with premium watches, jewelry, sunglasses, and more. Other watchmakers have insane markups, so that's where Vincero steps in. You can have the looks of a premium lifestyle without breaking the bank. For a limited time only, get 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with our code SUPER at VinceroCollective.com. Vincero Collective designs everything in-house, sources their own materials, and produces in small batches so the quality is at the highest standard. Whether you have a work meeting or a nice date planned, a high-quality watch can make a great first impression. Vincero offers many attractive designs for the modern individual, made with surgical steel grade stainless steel, durable silicone, and genuine Italian leather straps. These watches offer traditional automatic and Japanese quartz movements. In addition to their watches, Vincero just launched their commuter bag. This is the ultimate travel bag specifically designed for someone who likes to look good while traveling. This product is made of 100% recycled nylon material, so it's lightweight and it can support a sustainable cause. My favorite feature is the luggage pass-through strap so that you can actually sit it on top of your suitcase hands-free. It is a game changer when traveling. Vincero Collective also offers iconic sunglass styles with polarized lenses and 100% UV protection. You can block out the sun with style. And listen, coming from us, the Super Media Bros, Shades On is not just a catchphrase, it is a lifestyle. You feeling confident yet? Add on to your look with their essential yet sophisticated necklaces and bracelets for both you and for her. And with the holidays sneaking up, this is the perfect opportunity to gift yourself or gift somebody that you love. But you don't need to take our word for it. With over 30,000 5-star reviews, they've been named GQ's go-to brand for premium lifestyle accessories. Get 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with our code SUPER at www.vincerocollective.com. Again, that is 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with our code SUPER at vincerocollective.com. That's VINCERO collective.com. Support the show, use our code, and accessorize your life at an exceptional price with Vincero.
Hi, I'm Shannon.
I'm Jamie.
We're Married with Television, marriedwithtv.com. We are a couple of Hollywood normies on the outskirts of the film and TV industry, and we talk about our favorite TV shows, music, and movies, and sometimes they talk back to us.
Sometimes they do.
Our podcast is Married with Television, one word, on Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud.
Possibly Amazon soon. And we are a proud member of the OddPods Media Network.
Married with TV!
MarriedWithTV.com.
You know, I was just thinking about something else, like to kind of calm down a little.
Okay.
In a comedic way.
Okay.
The fact that we got Lindsay Wallace still hanging around and old girl is a bartender thinking she's a fucking oracle. Like, I feel bad. It's like they needed something for her to do. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so they could have just killed her in the fucking second one like they did with Tommy's character, which was just like, okay. But I just feel like our time was wasted with this whole fucking movie, really.
And that's how I feel too, is that it felt like a waste of time because you spent 90 minutes building up this guy that just gets nerfed. Legitimately, if you gave us one of the endings that you and I just pitched, I would have looked past a lot of these issues.
Same.
Still wouldn't have bought the romance, but it is what it is. It's a fucking horror movie. How many romances do you buy?
Not a lot.
So I would have looked past that. Rushed, yeah, still would have been all right with it. I would have, if they stuck the landing, I think it would have been top 5.
It had potential.
Yeah.
This one absolutely had potential and it didn't live up to it. However, the only thing that it really truly lived up to was the ends portion of it, because to literally end this discussion, they take his I swear to God, it was like this most fucked up funeral procession that they did with Michael's fucking body. They strap him to the top of a cop car and they drive his ass out, and Laurie kind of just rolls him into one of those big fucking industrial shredders, like how they can like turn an entire refrigerator into just smithereens. I love that they showed him getting just slurped into that thing, skull and bone and everything just being crushed. He ain't coming back.
It looked visually great. Like, I did love the visual. It's just not how I would have ended it.
No, I get that, but at this point, he's been decapitated, he's been stabbed, he's been drowned, he's been burnt. Like, he's had every fucking thing done to him possible in the last 40 years of his existence as a character. If you're trying to truly put a nail in this fucking coffin and call this it until they reboot this somehow again, because you know it will.
Oh, yeah. 10 years.
Let this storyline be over. Let this timeline be done where it's like, no, he ain't coming back. We literally fucking destroyed his entire body in an industrial shredder. Like, visually, you see it happening. He's fucking dead. He's fucking gone.
The morbid part of me wants them to make a 5th one in this timeline. just to see how they explain his
Him coming back?
Yes, his resurrection. I'd fucking love that shit.
Bro, would it be on par with Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives, how Tommy Jarvis just stabs him with that iron fencing piece and then the lightning hits and it just reanimates Jason Voorhees' corpse into zombie Jason?
I would love it if they went the Wolverine route where that, that one speck of blood is enough to regenerate.
No.
I would, bruh, I would buy 100 tickets.
What if he came back like the T-1000 whenever he gets fucking melted and shit and he just, whoop, 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 you know,
yeah,
just start fucking coming together and he just out of the fucking ground.
I would fucking love it. Do you hear me? At that point, I would say, you know what? Greatest franchise of all time. Let's fucking go. Like, I'd fucking love that shit. Are you kidding me? But no, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like, it was definitely not as terrible as people were making it out to be. I won't even say it's bad. I would say it's poorly executed. Like, at the end of it, I was just like, all right. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, and Charlie called me out on this shit because he saw the movie a few hours before I did. He's like, you're going to go home and you're going to want to write your own version of this movie. He was right. On the way home, I was like, all right, so this is what I would have done different. This is how I would have handled this. I would have done this, and that. Like, I was legitimately mapping it out in my head. And then, like, halfway home, I was like, son of a bitch, the man was right.
Of the 13 films that have happened, if you had to throw this in that, not in the order, but if you had to throw this one on 1 through 13, where does this one land in terms of like, okay, with 1 being the best and 13 being the shittiest? What number does this one be, like, would this one be placed at?
It'd be the 5th worst.
So, like 7? Like, or a 7 or an 8, maybe?
Yeah, I still say that there are 4 that are worse.
I'm curious.
H2O.
That are worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think H2O is worse.
Oof.
Resurrection.
That's absolutely ass. Okay.
Don't shoot me. Season of the Witch.
Oh.
It jumped the boat for me. Once you started introducing the robots and everything, I was like, all right. That's enough of that. I know. Let me, because I had it mapped out in my head. I don't want to start lying to you now.
You already did.
No.
I'm fucking with you.
Okay, that one. There it is. Curse of Michael.
Okay. I can buy that. I know that one's highly divisive, but for me, the producer's cut of that film is so much better than what we got in theaters.
To be fair, I have not seen that version.
It's much more cohesive. There's more of the runes story like explained and all that shit.
Okay.
It should have been what got released, but it wasn't.
Okay, then let me reiterate. Speaking exclusively theatrical.
Sure. Ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's... Again, I'm sorry about season, but
it's cool, dude. Like I said, it's not everybody's thing, and I get that.
And this one, a lot of people are loving it. A lot of people love Halloween Ends.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that either.
No. In fact, I feel like you and I are the only examples of people saying it's okay. It's still an okay. It's not like, oh, it was okay. No, it's okay.
All right. Yes, it's all right. Okay. Yeah.
You know, very few are saying that. It's usually love or hate with this one so far. And I am curious to see how it ages because Season of Witch did age very gracefully for people.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's finally gotten, to me, it's finally gotten the respect that it deserves because it is a very good example of a pod film.
And I do get that. It's just that, like I said, once you started introducing other aspects of it, I'm like, fuck. But we've discussed this before. I was never a big fan of Michael Myers being an entity.
Sure.
I always liked it better when he was just a psychopathic killer. You can make him a unit that is like just gonna run through fucking damage. I get that, but once you start making them like a fucking alien practically, I'm like, all right, guys, let's none of that.
Yeah. I guess with that being said, for me, out of the 13, God, I would have to stick this one at like a 7.
Okay, so we're more or less in the same boat.
Yeah, because it's definitely not the worst, but it's not good enough to crack 6 or the top 5, really.
Right, yeah.
Because for me, and this is no particular order, Halloween 1978, Halloween 2, like the original Halloween sequel,
Okay.
that is one of the better horror sequels that I've seen in a while. Season of the Witch. So basically the original 3 to me are top 5, just in their own regard. Halloween 2018 is up there because that movie just fucks like real hard.
For sure.
Now, here's where I have like, meh. It's always a toss up with Rob's Halloween from 2007 being like 5 or Halloween 4 being at 5 because Halloween 4 for what it was actually decent. It wasn't the best, but it was good whenever they came back with him. They tried to do something with the niece thing, but Halloween 5 can go fuck itself. Halloween 5 can just go to bottom of the barrel straight up with like most of these other films. I have a soft spot for part 6 just because I like the producer's cut a lot, and I feel like that one has like some, like I like the occult elements that are kind of weaved into that story, but I realize that the Curse of Thorn is just a giant like source of fuckery for a lot of the fans of this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I have a love-hate with zombies films because I realize that his movies gave them a prequel, which cool. I respect it. I enjoy the fact that he actually got the opportunity to make the movie that he really wanted to make with his sequel because he didn't really have to follow anything. He only had to follow what he wanted to do from continuing the story of his reboot. That being said, however, I quite enjoyed H2O as a sequel. The only issue that I have with that one is it trying to be Scream. That's the only real issue. Halloween Resurrection, 13. That is the worst in this entire fucking franchise. And I saw a tweet earlier that was just like, oh, if you've seen Halloween Ends, a lot of you motherfuckers owe Busta Rhymes and Rob Zombie huge apologies.
Facts. And,
yeah.
And by the way, whenever I was ranking my bottom of the barrel, no order.
Sure.
Like
it all fucking alternates because it all feels just lower tier. Is that what yeah, same.
I think I said H2O first for the simple fact that like it's just a name that is just so easy, I think.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. But Resurrection is definitely worse than it. I'll be honest, dude. I actually do really like the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah, like I said, I can take or leave them. It's not that I hate them, and it's not that I dislike them completely, or that I think they're the best. I like them for what they are. It's different tonally. It is his style on it, and it fits.
It's just grisly, grimy trailer trash. And you know I love me some new metal, so you can imagine that this was kind of up my alley.
Right. But to definitely bring this one to a close, Halloween Ends is not the best of this trilogy. Of the sequel trilogy, it's not the best. That honor belongs to Halloween 2018. That was the absolute best of this trilogy. Halloween Kills is not as bad as you think it is. Halloween Ends could have been better than what it was. I hope they leave this here and they put it to bed. And if we get another Michael Myers story, it better be in a decade. It better not fucking... Like, right now, it's time for Jason Voorhees to come back. We need Michael Myers to just fucking, like, go away for a little bit.
I would actually be really curious to see how they do that.
Yeah. Because I guess time will tell. Visit supermediabrospodcast.com for past, present, and future episodes. Check out all the other shows on the OddPods Media Network by visiting oddpodsmedia.com. Follow us on social media. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Buy the motherfucking merchandise. Leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, and GoodPods. Hell, come leave us a fucking voicemail on our website. There's a place you can do that. It's like a little orange pop-out tab, and it's just like, hey, leave us a voicemail. We might even play that son of a bitch on an episode or two. You never know. Leave us a trick or a treat. I say it's time to get out of here because I need to make sure that I'm not being stalked by a weird guy in a William Shatner mask that's been burnt to fucking shit.
The mask looked really good this movie.
Yes, it did. It definitely did. Come back next week as we cap off Spooky Media Bros 2022. We're going to space. We're just going to go to space.
Where are we going?
We're gonna hang out with a leprechaun and Jason Voorhees.
Oh, Jesus H, fuck.
Yeah. It's the final Cult Cinema Showdown of October, and that means it's Jason X versus Leprechaun in space.
Hold on, let me move. Hey, are you being fucking serious?
Yeah.
Why?
It's space.
I understand that. But why do you keep doing this to me?
I don't understand.
Why do you make me watch fucking dog shit?
If I gotta sit through it, so do you.
I have. And nobody is forcing you to watch this shit for the show. You just did it years and years ago. You rewatching this? That is a you problem. You don't have to drag me into this.
Yeah, I do. I really, really do.
Find a new fucking co-host.
I guess I'll be flying solo next week on this shit. God damn it. I didn't think it was going to be that big of an issue. It's just fucking spacey leprechauns and fucking hockey. God damn it. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this week. Halloween Ends is certainly was fucking a movie. We'll catch you guys next time. So until then, I'm Richie. And I'm Devin. Shades on. We're off.